Hi, this is KV, and this is the moon phase report for the full moon on July 23rd, 2013. I'm in a new place right now. Yay! I'm actually in the, there's all these trails behind my house, so I'm in the hills right behind my house, and I was going to do it in a different place, but there's so many chemtrails, and it made the mountains look, they just didn't look as beautiful, so I'm going to wait for a really blue day to do them that way. But, yeah. So yeah, these are coming late. Everything is kind of coming late in life right now, so there is a really big lesson for us all learning with the weight, but also learning to really trust the perfect timing of things. And even though you have them completely planned to be just like this, there's been lots of boomerangs and things coming in to throw you off balance. So it makes total sense that these are late, is what I'm getting at. And you should expect that a lot of things are late right now. You're late right now. Packages are coming late right now. You know, there's just this thing that's really kind of how could I put it? It's almost like testing your ability to stay grounded with what is coming your way. Also to not really buy into what it feels like it means. There's lots of hidden meanings in things right now where one move, one decision is actually having to be made to kind of open the doors for this other thing to be able to come through. So it's like things shifting in such a way that it's the only way to bring in these other things is with this first initial shifting thing. So it can be showing up as changes in your life, things coming into your life that are just like making you go, whoa, I have to change. Oh my gosh, there goes an eagle. How lucky are we? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Maybe he'll fly into the back. I don't know if you have much sky back there. That's really cool. And see, that's really cool too, because the eagle is all about seeing things from a higher perspective. So, you know, they always kind of look at things as a whole. So they don't just sit there and say, oh my gosh, this happened. This is the worst thing ever. Oh my gosh, you know, and we are to, that's what I say too when I tell you about the eagle mind. That's where you just kind of go, okay, I can handle this. What does this mean? What's the worst thing that can happen? You know, that's kind of how we're supposed to deal with things that happen. And understanding that there is a higher order to everything that is happening, you know, and we can't really see how things have to come together down the line, but they are. And everything that is happening now is for things that are going to come together in the future. You know, it's kind of like, oh, what do you have to do first? I can't think of anything now. So, yeah. So that's going on. This full moon is going to be at 1 degree Aquarius, and I've been so excited for this full moon for a while now. Just because, like, you know, anytime we have something that's 1 degree, it really kind of means we're also carrying the wisdom in kind of the higher sense from the sign before. So, you know, Aquarius is great with like Capricorn attached to it, you know, that responsibility. It's almost like having the responsibility and the commitment to realize your dreams with Aquarius, to make great changes in your life that then reflect outward into the world. So that's one thing I want to talk about later, but I've been getting so many insights, and I've had so many sad feelings about the injustice in the world and how unfair and how out of balance things are, and looking at people who have so much money and looking at people who don't even have any food to eat. And like, I don't know, there's just, you know, I remember last night getting this really strong feeling about like, oh my God, I bet you over half people in prisons are innocent, and maybe it's not that high, but you know there's a lot, you know. And imagine like if you were framed for something, or you didn't really do something and you were kept in this prison environment and there's nothing you can do about it, and just imagine how scary that would be, that there's nothing you can do about it, you know. And So like everything we know with Pluto and Capricorn is, and then Uranus coming in all the squares that we're having, it's about like really bringing all this stuff to the right action position, and we have to recognize everything that is out of balance to bring it in balance. It's essential that we recognize it and accept it, and that's when we know we need to change it, because it's not until we look at it that we go, oh my gosh, I need to change this. This is bad. So it's happening so big in the world, and it's not something that you totally need to be totally stressed about or let it get you really down. Because it's just for you to make a change within yourself, whether it is a judgmental thought you carry or, anything like that that is reinforcing this limited way in the world, and that's one thing that's really come to me like in the past couple weeks even is that us like wanting to change the world and change other people is kind of like a really big joke, and that does nothing. And truly, 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 the only thing that matters is you, and the only thing that matters is you working on yourself, you being a better example, you monitoring your thoughts so that the judgmental ones really are not there anymore, you changing your way of thinking so that you are more hopeful, so that you do believe good things can happen, so that you can sustain the high vibrations. And when you are that, and when you do truly embody that, then nothing else outside of you matters. So if somebody is not awakened or conscious yet, it's not like you're like if you already are, that doesn't faze you, mostly because you remember that you were there that way too at one time, so you resonate with that, you understand where they're coming from, and you just kind of let it go, and just kind of hope that by example they will witness what you're doing and they will make changes themselves, because it's an inside job and it's all on you, and I was thinking too, like, some of the, I've always kind of felt this way. That's where like I've had these things with the word spiritual. I've never really wanted to be called a spiritual person. I think being spiritual is just breathing and being alive, I think. So I don't think it really needs a category, but a lot of people who do need that category tend to not really have not done as much work as they would like us to believe. And that's why they are so judgmental, are so envious of other people who are in. So I always hear people who call themselves spiritual, they always put people down by saying, oh, you're such a spiritual person. Like that's their comeback to somebody when they fight. And that's just weird to me. That's just like not right, because I just do know that when you get to that point of kind of erasing your own judgmental or self-hatred kind of thoughts, you aren't looking out and judging others so much, because you are here to be an example, and that is the most important thing, and that's the only thing. And by you just knowing this stuff, you go out into the world, you always kind of have a partial smile on your face because you feel content, you feel safe, and when you go out doing this, people just see that, and whether they feel the energy or they just witness it, it can change them, and just, I mean, like seeing someone who looks so carefree and so happy and just so like in control of, or not really in control of things, but just like they're not losing it, they look confident, they're just, or if they have lives like that, it should like provoke you to want to have that yourself, seeing somebody who's happy instead of like putting them down and wanting to hate on them and make them feel like, it's really just jealousy, so you want that. So stop fighting people, because I think the more you fight people, the more you just stay down in that kind of lower vibration. And so this full moon, I didn't really have a lot to say except that it's just really crazy energy. It's really heightened emotional situations that are things you can't even believe you're in, and there'll be one after the other after the other. It should be really like you're sitting there going, how did this happen? Or like, how did this manifest? Or you're going to realize you were just in this situation and it was so this and that and everything's good, and then just like that it snaps into another situation that's like, oh my gosh. So So that's really big, and this is the part of, you know, having Mercury in retrograde, and then having Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, and then having Jupiter in Cancer too in the early degrees. So it's almost like the Mercury was kind of taking us, kind of turning things upside down in our lives, to kind of acclimate us, to kind of start preparing us for the emotional, heart-centered world that we're really walking into, and that we're really, really, really going to be in, you know, as this year goes on. And so these were kind of like the first kind of things to really kind of like, you know, I'm sure you had your heart opened over and over and over, and it's been like, oh my God. I mean, I'm sure, I have no doubt. But if you noticed, you were probably a lot more calmer than you would have been before in life. And you at least did kind of know to slow down. Like, there should be a little bit of a grounding cord in you that still says, you're safe, you'll get through this, there's a meaning for this, there is a solution to this, not all is lost. So that was a common kind of thing with this, of having things rock you to the core, present you with it's frightening, horrible scenarios, but still like knowing like, no, I know this is okay. You know, I know I can work my way through this, and hopefully you're there, because at the same time, you know, there's this enormous balancing act going on in the world, and one part of it is that all avenues of expression are going on between people. So it's not like we're all just feeling this one thing. We're feeling, some people are feeling the exact opposite. So everything right now is like, you know, we're all, oops, hold on. It's getting windy out here. A piece of plastic just flew by. But so we're all okay, so we're all in this balancing act. So I was thinking when I was walking here, if you imagine those, like the balls on the strings, and they're all going, but they're waiting to come together so that they are finally all together. So if you can imagine, we're all like this. None of us are on the same vibration, or same level, same expression. We're just not lined up, but we're becoming lined up. And what is going to happen is we are going to then be in unison. So just go with the flow of these extreme sides of experiences having in your life. I mean, it's like, it's so extreme, I don't even think I'm having things where I'm like, I don't think I've had to deal with these kind of things in like a decade, you know? So it's really been like, wow. But with each one, I'm so incredibly like, all right, you know, there's not, and with each one too, I would go deep within and be like, okay, there's no freak out. There's no, oh, that's what I was going to tell you too. So one thing with the acclimating us, bringing lots of tears, there's been lots of crying, there's been lots of feeling, there's a lot of heart opening, there's a lot of compassion being felt, there's a lot of like, feeling other people and what they've been through. You too are probably going through this injustice thing where you are looking at some people who are just born into these lives of without, and it just makes you sad. It just seems like really unfair. You know, it doesn't seem right that it should be like this. And then it's just, yeah, so we're all kind of awakening to that right now. But with the emotional thing, one thing that is going to happen is it is going to level out. So there's a lot of tears right now, but it's really not going to continue like that. You're still going to have the same situations that would bring tears, but it's almost like there's not such a sadness with it. There's more of a go-getting kind of take charge, do something about this. So seeing injustice and then not just being like, oh my God, I can't believe that's happening, because that's how you'll feel right now. You'll be crying and da-da-da. But we're going to be moving into, okay, you know, thinking of like Cancer in the highest terms of like, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to nurture you, I'm going to give you what you need. You know, so we'll be kind of more aligned like that, more like take charge mom, who can handle any kind of situation and isn't just sitting there crying devastated, because that doesn't really do a lot. But you do have to walk the journey of at least, you know, opening to those feelings. So you can expect that lots of things will happen that will bring you to that kind of feeling. So full moon is at 0 degrees. The sun is at 1 degree Leo. And what's really funny too, because I wanted to tell you about, there's there's been lots of messages with your timings are off in the world. Everything timing, and I don't really know what this is. And I know it's a part of this thing, but timings are really weird. So timings are off. So be patient with that, or don't be, just kind of like get out of your stubborn box and go with the flow of it. It'll be similar to like being down a river. You might think you want it like this, you want to do it like that. And an example is that I have had this dream of creating this kind of thing for, you know, like over a decade. And I was finally going to birth it for this full moon. I was so excited. I was like, I have to do it on the full moon because it's 1 degree Aquarius and we're Aquarius nation, you know? So this is perfect. And just as I was getting closer to it, just all these things kept happening. Like within 12 hours, you know, me having to like be in a dog fight, not with my dogs, but other dogs, and out in the wilderness, and not able to break it up, and seeing them ripping each other to shreds. It was the most horrible thing ever. I was screaming at the top of my lungs for help. I was just screaming at the top of my lungs to make them stop. I didn't even know what to do, so it was so out of control. It was horrible, and blood and ripping, and then all the dogs, so it was like 7 dogs going crazy, but only 3 were in this fight. But and anyway, so and then the next day I had to take Moon Bear to the doctor because she had this bump that I took her in 2 months ago to look at, and they just said it was an abscess and did not do anything about it. And then it just all of a sudden ballooned to like the size of a lemon, and now it's a tumor, and now she has to have surgery on Monday. So like, you know, things are coming fast and like, you know, but it's like, whatever, you do what you got to do, you know. But anyway, so all these things kept happening, and then this social network site that I'm creating for you guys, the system's down this weekend, so the things I did need to get dealt with can't be, and I was just like, you know what, let me look at the new moon and see what the next new moon looks like, you know, because I got so stuck in my rut. I want to do it like this. I'm starting on this day and I'm doing it. No one's stopping me, you know. So then I was like, okay, let me open to these things happening, because I do have a lot on my plate right now, and maybe I do need to give it a couple weeks, work together all the people I'm working with, handle my dog who's going into surgery tomorrow, you know, and all that stuff. But and surgery, and I have 2 friends that lost their dogs in surgery, didn't wake up, so you know, I don't really like that thought of surgery. So I'm not really I'm in more of wanting to give love to that situation, you know. But anyway, my point is, so I looked at the new moon one, and I was like, oh my god, the new moon one's even better. The new moon one, of course, you want to do it at the new moon. Why were you thinking full moon? I was so stuck on that 0 degrees that it was like, yeah, that's it. But when I looked closer, I was like, no, the new moon's perfect. That's great. And then, so it's going to be launched on it's going to be launched on August 6th at 11:11 a.m. It's called Aquarius Nation, Our Embrace. And it's going to be this safe space. It's going to be a membership, though, because one of the things that I've really, you know, I didn't want to put myself out there because I don't really like to have people fight me. I know that people have to fight things before they accept them, and I'm bringing things that a lot of people aren't accepting yet, so they want to fight me. So I don't really want to put myself out there too much in the public. I've also really limited myself in what I share with you guys. I want to share it, but I'm realizing I'm remembering that I'm in mainstream media, so I kind of pull back. And I really wanted to create a safe container that is just us, that is just the people who want to be there. So that was kind of my one motive for it. But also, I just want to help a larger number of people, and not just a couple people that can like be able to afford what I can bring to them on an individual level, and I want it to be a mass level. And I was like, well, how can I do that without like giving all my information away? And it just kind of really came to me, you know, especially because my North Node is in Aquarius, in the 2nd house. I'm really big on these kind of high vibrational ways of money too. That's why most people don't believe in my ways of looking at money, but I don't believe in the I need to make a ton of money because of the spirit guidance I'm bringing to you. I don't believe in that. I would rather create a whole bunch of items and have all them be a small price and sell more of them, and then have to hire people that I love, give them an awesome job to put them together. So my mentality is like that, keep it low. So anyway, this is going to be $11.11 for a year membership. So to get in now, no matter when you get in from here or the end of the year, it's going to be $11.11, so you might as well come now. 2014, it'll be $11.11 again for the whole year. What you're going to get, I'm going to be sharing horoscopes and writings with you sooner. So I'm going to start having the horoscopes come out on the day on YouTube, but they will come out at least 3 days earlier in our sacred space. So one thing is going to be that I'm going to be sharing more videos about just teachings and stuff. You know, I'm going to really open up and just be vulnerable. I'm going to share my path of walking through things in hope with faith. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm so excited. I'm going to be on new moons and full moons. We're going to have shamanic journeying. So I have someone, a shamanic practitioner, who is going to be doing videos. She's also going to be doing teaching videos for anybody who has not done a shamanic journey yet. So you will learn about it. You will go find your power animal. So every full moon, we're going to be able to do this together with each other. You know what I mean? So the video, she'll do a presentation. We'll kind of talk about what we're going to go to get an answer about, and then she'll start drumming. You know, you're going to lay down and you're going to get to have a shamanic journey at home. How cool is that? New moon one, we're going to do something that's affirmation based with the shamanic journeying, but where we're really kind of putting an energy out there. So I think we're going to do something where we all do a group energy out into the world, some kind of healing thing, Fukushima, the radiation, something like that, because you know I'm passionate about that. And and then also one that's where you can have a new moon affirmation. So it'll be solidified with this shamanic journey, and it'll be awesome. And then there's also going to be, you're going to get 10% off of all of our stores. And so far I have 3 people in the group. So all of our stores, you're going to get 10% off. I'm also going to have this amazing directory where you guys are going to be able to list whatever creative healer, body worker gift you're doing. So we're going to advertise you on there too. It'll eventually be broken down into states too, countries, so you can look them up. Like if you're looking for a reader, if you're looking for a jewelry designer or whatever in a certain place. But so there's going to be that whole place to talk about your Etsy account, talk about your Squarespace, whatever shop you have, you're going to be able to advertise it there. You're also going to have your own homepage, your own member page. You get to pick your picture, you get to pick your background cover picture. There's going to be all these forums for you guys to connect with each other. So it's really going to bring you guys together and only us. So it's going to be a place of empowerment and support, and it's just going to, my whole point is kind of to help you sustain the higher vibrations. And it's going to be most days things coming that are just going to help you stay grounded and stay positive. And I'm going to talk about energy alerts a lot more, because I'll always feel the energy come through, but I won't sometimes I'll put it on Facebook, which I'm not going to do anymore. They will only be in the group, but I don't always say them. But I will now. So I'll share more with you when something is like, we're really tired, or right now we can't understand people, or right now thoughts are swollen in our head. We're just like, ugh. So I'll share those with you. So every time you read it, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm okay. And then you'll go back to feeling okay and on a higher vibration. So it's going to be a really magical place. It's also going to have classes that are only offered for the group. So my astrology classes I'm going to be doing, we're going to have yoga, movement, almost like everything, but it's not going to be until more people are going to be added. I'm sorry, I hear a plane and I was thinking. So as I get more of you into the group, I will be adding more people, and then I want to have like yoga movement, because I know a lot of you people don't want to leave the house, you know, and it's like I would love to have something to really get that healthy kind of body in you, moving it right away, you know. And so we're going to have health stuff, even hooping, you know. I have someone who's going to teach you how to do hoop dance, and what are some other, shamanic journeying. But so all those classes you'll only be able to get if you're in this group. So what I'm going to do though, because I was planning on opening, I decided what I would do though is I'm going to have the home page open, and I'm going to have your page open, so you can go sign up, and then I will